Hello, it's my face! This doesn't happen very often anymore because, it's actually faster for me to record game footage and record my voice doing an update than it is to actually do this. Partially because I do a lot of takes of these, because I tend to ramble a lot, and my face is not necessarily... I have a face for audio. So, yeah, but this is kind of a face-to-face sort of conversation that I feel like we need to have right now. First of all, apologies if you can hear the fan in the background. Our air conditioning is currently out. It is kaput. And it's hot out. So, there's a fan running, and the camera will probably pick up the sound of the fan running. I definitely was about to say microphone there. It will actually catch the sound of the microphone running. Anyway. So, big news. Really big news. I'm about to take a massive step in my life and move out for the first time. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be living with 3 roommates in an apartment. First apartment. It's going to be fun. Hopefully. It's a little stressful, but I'm excited. So that's going to happen at the beginning of August. This August. So about a month away. Which means I'm currently in the midst of doing all sorts of packing and box acquiring and sorting of miscellaneous junk, which I have a surprisingly large amount of. Gosh, that was a poorly constructed sentence, but whatever. I'm a writer! I can make the words go. Sure. Yeah, there's a bunch of things going on right now, so if I'm a little bit quiet on the places that you usually see me, like Facebook or the Character Crusade Discord, that is why. It's because I'm in the middle of life happening. So, in light of that, I wanted to take an opportunity to change a few things, and also do a little bit of self-promotion since I tend not to do that. I try not to, like, blast you guys with ads or anything because I hate ads and I know everybody else hates ads, and you will do whatever in your power to avoid them. At least I do. Unless it's somebody that I care about. So hopefully if you're watching this video, it means you care about me. To which I say, thank you and bless your gizzard. I know that humans don't have gizzards, but whatever. Here we are. So yeah, changes that are being made. I'm going to be switching back to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule for my video uploads. There was going to be Skyrim in here, so yeah, it's not all completely irrelevant. It's Skyrim related as well as my entire life related, so, we're here. Skyrim will be going back to the Monday, Wednesday, Friday uploads because in addition to all of this going on, I also have a class that I need to do work for because it's coming up on the end of the summer semester. Taking a class in the summer was a mistake, I think. But here we are, and I'm gonna follow through with it, because that's what I do, for better or worse. Oh well. So I'm cutting back from 4 videos a week to 3, just because I need to be able to manage that. Yeah, I need to be able to have enough time to do schoolwork and packing, and getting stuff sorted out with my roommates, my soon-to-be roommates, and also be able to do videos and stuff. So yeah, I need to dial it back a little bit, and also that'll give me time to voice act enough episodes that I can get ahead of my own schedule again, because I've been kind of like right up against the schedule for the last like 2 months. So I need to get ahead of it again so that I'm not having to worry about it uploading while I'm moving. So yeah, that's a thing that changed. I also made a change to Patreon, wherein no matter what you donate, if you choose to donate to my Patreon, links in the doobly-doo, $1 or more lets you see all of the things. All of the things. I think it probably works with like 50 cents or more, but I don't know if Patreon will allow you to do 50 cents or if $1 is the minimum. I've never tried. So, yeah, $1 or more, you get to see everything that I post on Patreon. I don't really post that much on Patreon. I do post episodes of Executioner early. So, like, when on Monday, is the next... Monday is when the next episode of Executioner comes out, so when the episode for the public gets published, the Patreon people get to see the next episode a month early, basically. Or like a chapter early. So they're all caught up with what's going on there. I've managed to finagle things in such a way that the one that's going to be going up for the public on Monday is actually chronologically correct-ish. It's correct for Vagrant, but not for intonation, because intonation is slightly ahead of everything else. Because Arden started late. But, whatever. Here we are. I got myself into this mess and I'll get myself out of it somehow. That's how I roll. I don't really roll, I kind of plod. But, oh well. So in light of the fact that things are changing, I wanted to do a little bit of a self-promotion stuff so that if you really like what I do here and you want to see more of it, I mean, I'm gonna keep doing more of it whether you want it to happen or not, just because I have started this story, and like I said earlier about my class, I will finish it one way or another. This Skyrim thing that I've started, it's just gonna keep going until I run out of story, which I don't know when that'll be, but it's just gonna keep going until that day happens, and when that happens, there will be a finale episode, and then I'll figure out what I'll do from there, because maybe by then the Elder Scrolls 6 will be out, or Starfield will be out, and I'll be able to do something sci-fi related. I don't know! Sci-fi is not my cup of tea! And neither is Apocalypse, which is why I have not done a Fallout series. I apologize. But Fallout is something that makes me extremely nervous, because that has the potential of happening at any given point. Currently. So, yeah, on that dismal note, if you like the not dismal story that I'm telling with my Skyrim characters, and you want to support me, and you like me, and you support me, or you want to support me, but you don't necessarily want to give $1 or more a month to my Patreon, because that's a commitment, and I get it. I'm also an author, which I don't really talk about a lot because what I author is not necessarily Skyrim related on the surface, but it's still fantasy, and I do have a lot of Viking, Norse symbolism that ends up worming its way into my books. The first trilogy, The Tales of Esper Ravenwood, all three of them are out in paperback. So, if you want to go check those out. First one is Revenant. I really hope this is in frame. The second one is Scourge Marked. Feet. Werewolf. I do write werewolves, by the way. Just so you know. And yes, I realize that, like, my main character is undead, but he is not a vampire. That's why the first book is Revenant. Revenant. He is a revenant. He's a bard. I don't like to compare myself to other authors, but if I write like anybody, I would say I write like Matthew Colville, who I am also a massive fan of, and have read both of his books. So there's that. Yeah, there's the second one. This one's the third one. And they are not massive, huge books, as you can see. They are very, very short reads. They're very worth it, I would say. Obviously, I wrote them, so I'm a little biased. I've been told that they are quick and punchy. I don't spend a whole lot of time on backstory if I don't feel like it's necessary or reasonable to talk about it in the moment. I don't think I ever stopped to explain what a Gowan is. But yeah, I never stop to explain what those are, I just kind of throw the word at you. There's a lot of things that stop to get explained because Esper is a bard and he thinks about that kind of thing. So that makes sense to me. And he's been around for a while, so he would know that kind of thing. But I don't like stop to explain the origins of noble houses unless it comes up. There aren't a lot of noble houses, actually, now that I think about it. This series started out being a incomplete Dungeons & Dragons campaign that I ran for my friends. Esper was originally just a random NPC that I thought was cool, and so I played him later on in a campaign, and that's where these came from. It is significantly different than the way the campaign actually played out, but when you see bits that remind you of D&D, that's why. For instance, Esper's failed acrobatics check in like the second chapter. You will see it if you read it. I also have a new book, which is actually my 9th, if you can believe it. I have five? Yeah, I have 5 others that are currently out on Kindle. These are all on Kindle and Kindle Unlimited as well, by the way. But I also have a new book coming out, hopefully at the end of July or the beginning of August. And it's this one, which I have the proof of, because I was smart and formatted it for paperback the first time. Which I am currently proofreading, as you can see from this little thingy and the fact that it says not for resale on it. But this is actually the first of Esper's prequel series, the Ravenfriend Saga, or if you speak Borean or Old Norse, Hrafnavin Saga, which is, as described on the back of the book, Oceanson is a coming-of-age story that toes the line between Viking-age historical fantasy and low-magic sword and sorcery, set in a world where gods choose champions and differences are celebrated rather than scorned. A quick read that sets the stage for a much larger adventure in the Ravenfriend Saga and beyond. This is the beyond, by the way. So yeah, this is going to be coming out soon, so keep your eye out for it if you want to start way the heck back in the beginning, in history even, and then you can wait for me to get the other ones done for this, and then move on to this, if you want to, because this is technically a prequel series, even though I wrote this one first. There's that. I've also got another trilogy out, that's one of the 5 books, and also a duo of books that are kind of the oddballs, that aren't necessarily set in the same world as any of the other ones. Kind of. It's funky. So, yeah. I also am an artist, and I illustrated all of those covers. So if you want to commission me, my Etsy store is currently closed on vacation. It's currently on vacation because I've got all of this moving stuff going on. I don't actually have the time, energy, or patience to draw characters for other people, because that takes up a lot of time and effort and love, because I want to make your characters like your characters. I want to give them life. That is what I do. I make things out of nothing. But yeah, if you want to commission me, this is actually a much more accurate representation of my style than the other ones, even though this cover printed so dark and I don't understand why. I am cursed with dark covers, but that's my style. I definitely do fantasy as my bread and butter. So that doesn't mean I can't do sci-fi. I can do sci-fi, I can do modern-ish, I can do western if you want a western, although I don't know what kind of stuff you're writing for or what kind of stuff you're playing, but if you need characters illustrated, hi, I will leave a link in the doobly-doo. My prices are somewhat professional, I would say. Somewhat? They're like on the cheap end of professional, because I draw fast. I charge myself by hour, and this 3-character thingy took a while, so there's that. It also has a huge, crazy background, which is kind of blurry right at the moment, but yeah. If that's some other ways that you can support me. I'm a writer, I'm an author, and I make Skyrim videos. I also have a blog, because who doesn't have a blog these days? It's mostly just so that I can update you as to what the heck is going on in my life. Because things are happening! But it's also kind of a hub for all of the other things. I don't know if I have my Skyrim videos linked. I have a table of contents on my website, as well as a mod list, and links to my Patreon, my DeviantArt, where you can see more of my art. I have a policy of not posting commissions, so if you're wondering why my gallery is sort of empty lately, that's why. So yeah, things are happening. I have a site, I have several, I have ways that you can support me. I'm considering, of all weird things, a band camp, so that I can put up the music that I use in my videos, because most of that music, except for a couple of tracks in Executioner And one of the tracks that I used once in Honorless, I have actually made those myself. So I'm also an amateur composer. But the Bandcamp thing is like, if you guys want me to make a Bandcamp so that you can buy my music, let me know. But it's not something that I'm probably going to do right now, because obviously I have more important things going on. Yeah, that's an update. And my time is up, so with that, I will end this video here. Whenever I see you guys again, I will see you again. Until then, have a good one!